Finally, the smile tells it all. It's the most points Ireland have scored here in London at the Allianz. How happy are you with the performance?
Obviously, I'm ecstatic for the players mainly, and obviously for the fans. They turned out today in the thousands, and you know, you just try to get a moment where to have a think about the people at home watching as well. Like, you know, it must be nice to be Irish today.
Was that a performance that you knew was there, and maybe you needed the right setting, the right occasion to bring it out?
Yeah, honestly, Topsy, I didn't really care whether we won or lost, really. I just wanted us to learn and get better from what we shown first game up in a big game in Paris, and I felt all week we was building to do that, and we did. We freed ourselves up and getting a little bit more respect for one another, certainly on the field.
You asked for intent. You used that word after the France game. You celebrated both sides of the ball, attack and defence, like they were as good as each other.
Yeah, we did.
That must be something you are really pleased with.
Yeah, again, it's about respect, isn't it? It's about respect for one another, and making sure that your teammates know that you're there for them. And yeah, I suppose when you get out your own way and, you know, there's no distractions in your own mind, you can do that type of performance. So, unbelievably proud of the lads.
2 weeks into the next game, so you can enjoy tonight and then look forward to the next one.
Yeah, well, we get a break finally, don't we? We're normally used to 2, but listen, we're delighted with the win, but it's more the performance more than anything.
Congratulations, Andy. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Jamison, congratulations on a record win here at the Allianz. Was that the island that maybe some people doubted wasn't there, but you guys knew it was always there?
Yeah, look, potentially. Sorry, can I just start off by saying I want to congratulate Maro on 100 tests. It's a pretty phenomenal feat, and he's a great bloke and a great player, and, you know, I had the privilege of sharing the summer with him, and he's an unbelievable leader and player and person, so I just want to congratulate him first. But yeah, to your point, I think so, you know. We're probably challenged a bit after, you know, our first outing against France, and not something we're overly proud of, so yeah, I suppose we saw a bit of that today.
What were the keys to the performance? We saw a lot on both sides of the ball, but you're out there. What were you feeling through the match?
Like you touched on, I think the Ireland of old, you know, we're brave and we love to put the ball in space and let our guys on the edge do special things, I suppose. So I don't know that we've gone away from that a little bit, but I think that was probably one of the keys today for sure.
And for you personally, of course, you didn't start last weekend, but to come back in and play the way you did, to respond to some criticism sometimes, it's the best feeling.
100%, man. And look, I count myself very lucky to be part of this team, and it was unbelievable to be out there today with the lads.
Well, you can hear the applause from the crowd. I mean, to come away from home, like you say, the way you built through the Six Nations, you must be hugely impressed with the way that your teammates performed this afternoon. 100%,
man, and like you say, it's probably a performance we can be proud of, and, you know, it's unbelievably difficult to come to Twickenham and do that, so yeah, we're pretty happy, man, and we'll share a few beers tonight and celebrate a little bit.
Well, Jamison, congratulations, you are the Guinness Men's Six Nations Player of the Match.
Thank you, Topsy. Appreciate it, brother.
Well, Steve, for Ireland, one of their best days here at the Allianz, and for you, conversely, probably one of the most difficult as a coach. What have you said in the initial debrief to the players?
Yeah, well, ultimately this team's been very, very good in games that and you look over this last year, last 18 months of games that are tight, and then that second half been super, super strong. Unfortunately, the last 2 weeks is we let the opposition get that start. We've given ourselves too much to do, a mountain to climb that we haven't been able to. Get the score and enough scores. At the same point in time, it's probably influenced a little bit how we've played, which has led to a few more turnovers and then gifted opportunities for the opposition to score. That's probably the template of the last 2 games. So we'll have a close look at that and ensure that first half is a better performance that sets us up for finishing the job in the second half.
Why do you think the start has been difficult for 2 weeks now? You talk about lineouts lost, you talk about turnovers in the 22 and just general inaccuracies. It's not a trend yet, but for 2 weeks in a row, it has made the game very, very difficult for you.
Yeah, the first couple of lineouts gave them field position. which then gave them an opportunity to get some points. And clearly we had a number of times to their goal line where we actually then finished with turnovers against us and not scores. And credit Ireland for taking their chances so very, very well. Now, so there's a couple of things there that we're looking at real closely to ensure that come 2 weeks' time when we're playing against Italy in Rome, is that we convert those chances.
When I say discipline, people will think about penalties. You were into double figures for penalty count, but also double figures for unforced errors as well. Is that something that you maybe need to look at going forwards into how you put momentum back in your favour?
Yeah, well, I think the turnover count was too high, and as discussed, when the scoreboard pressure comes on, sometimes you make decisions and play in a slightly different manner, which can lead to more turnovers, as we saw in that second half. We'll look at all those things and we'll debrief that thoroughly.
Andy Farrell used the word intent for his team when they lost against France, and it seemed they certainly had it, and perhaps England were lacking. Did you see that as an issue through the game as well?
Well, I think you see the errors and the mistakes in that first half, which ultimately gifted Ireland scoring chances. You know, they played really well. I thought their kicking game was very, very strong, and they took their chances really well. Conversely, we didn't, and ultimately that made the difference on the scoreboard in that first half.
12 wins in a row, now the 2 losses. You've got time into the Italy game, so how do you go about rebuilding perhaps confidence, energy in the squad so that you can go to Rome and pick up a result?
2 weeks ago, after 12 wins on the bounce, people were talking about us being best team in the world, and now they'll be saying all kinds of other things, and neither are true. We're always a team that is on a journey of development that's improving. It's got a lot of growth in it. That's where I believe this team's got a lot of growth in it. You look at the 2 teams today, and I think that England team is going to be a lot better in 2 weeks' time.
First half, when things weren't going your well, you pulled the trigger early, you brought on Jamie George, you brought on Marcus Smith. What were you seeing in those moments that made you make those decisions? Yeah,
well, ultimately, I saw Jamie George, the leadership he brings, the experience he brings, and we'd had 2 early errors at the line out. He certainly helps in that regard as well. And I think Luke Cowandick is a fabulous player. I thought that change where we were at that time, we needed that change. And then late in that first half, with the points down on the scoreboard, Marcus Smith's a player who creates opportunities and takes opportunities. So I felt that point in time we needed to make a change. And yeah, again, I'd say Freddie Stewart, I rate Freddie Stewart tremendously. It's not changing players in the first half is not something I do often, but I think that's a circumstance that we've not often found ourselves in.
And lastly, for the coaches, what will you guys look at when you go away to make improvements on coming into that next game? Where can you guys be better?
Yeah, well, we'll look very clearly at what we had planned going into the game, where we execute, where we did not execute, and then how we coached that in the week, and then reflect on that, so ensure we are better in our roles come the squad coming back together later in the week.
Well, thanks, Steve. We'll see you in Rome.
Thank you very much.
Well, Caelan, I see you looking around, kind of taking in the songs and the applause. What's going through your mind right now? You must be on cloud 9.
Yeah, unbelievable feeling. You could see and feel the green from the start, from the anthems right at the start. You could feel them all behind us, and they carried us through the whole way. It was a very enjoyable game to be a part of. We obviously got the start that we were after, with points on the board early, and you could feel the crowd growing into it behind us. And yeah, we stuck with it the whole way through. Very pleasing.
You're a team that's kind of built their way through this tournament. What was different about today?
Well, the fast start definitely helped getting points on the board early, but there was a little bit of ferociousness about us. There was our mentality, there was some mistakes, but we were always next moment, always getting back on track fast, and we didn't let them get too much momentum. We caught things pretty early and played in the right areas. We're brave at times, and yeah, it came together for us.
And I asked Jamison similar, but a lot of talk about where this squad is. Was that performance that you knew that was there and you just needed to deliver it so you guys can kick on through the rest of the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, internally, there's always been belief at the core of what we're doing. We feel we've got the right coaches and an unbelievable playing group as well, all going in the right direction. Obviously, there's been performances that have been subpar, but there's a good feeling in camp still, and some of that was shown today.
Okay, and congratulations, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you, appreciate it. Sure.